Hello students, how are you all? Busy with online classes, right? Most of the children are busy with online classes. And nowadays I'm hearing that most of the students are interested to listen to online classes only than the physical classes which are going to be started. Okay, of course the situation may going to be okay, and shortly, of course we cannot say how much time it will take to start the physical classes, but most of the children are saying that they started liking online classes only. You know what might be the reason for that? I think you can expect. Okay, most of the children started saying that it is only during the online classes that the teacher gets stuck. Okay, the class gets cancelled. The teacher gets muted, and sometimes there is a chance for the teacher to get disappeared also. Okay, so in this way, the classes are going on, right? That's why children started liking online classes only. So maximum of the time, because of certain technical issues, most of the classes are getting cancelled, or sometimes it may get postponed or something like that, one or the other disturbance, right? We will be back here in YouTube video. There will not be any kind of disturbance to you children, so you can listen to my class without any interruption. Okay, so let us go into the topic. So what is the topic for today? Today we are going to learn about the IUPAC rules for nomenclature. Nomenclature of what? Nomenclature of aliphatic hydrocarbons, saturated hydrocarbons. Okay, so today's topic is rules. Better I divide the board into two parts. Okay, so rules, nomenclature rules we will be learning about. Okay, IUPAC nomenclature. Okay, IUPAC nomenclature of what? IUPAC nomenclature of aliphatic hydrocarbons, aliphatic saturated hydrocarbons. Okay, saturated hydrocarbons, saturated hydrocarbons in which functional group is not there. Saturated hydrocarbons with no functional group. Okay, now with no functional group. If functional group is not there, what are the different rules which we have to follow for giving name of certain organic compounds? Okay, so we'll be learning with certain examples. Okay, so here I just wanted to tell you certain rules. Okay, and along with that, for that rule, one or two examples also we will be seeing. Okay, so let us go into the topic. So if you go for the rule 1, rule 1 is longest carbon chain rule. Longest carbon chain rule. Okay, so what does this stands for? Okay, if you are going to choose, first thing is you have to choose the parent chain. Parent chain means what? A carbon chain with more number of carbon atoms present in that compound. That too, they must be there in continuation. Okay, you have to choose the parent chain in such a way that a chain which is having more number of carbon atoms continuously, okay, is to be chosen as what? Parent chain. Okay, so we will be seeing with the examples. I'm not writing the rule, okay, but we will be learning with certain examples. Okay, then you will be understanding, okay, in what way you will be come across the questions. Okay, so let us take the examples. Example 1. Okay, suppose if I draw a structure like this: CH2, CH2, C, CH3, 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 and here CH3. You have to be very careful, dear children, when you are writing the structures. Okay, CH2, CH2, CH3. Can you able to see? Yes. Okay, right. And here also you are finding one CH3. Now you have to choose the parent chain in such a way that the carbon atoms must be continuous and more number of carbon atoms should be there in the given structure. Okay, if you go for the straight one, the number of carbon atoms are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there. Okay, you can even go as a branched chain also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons are there. So you have to choose this as your parent chain. Okay, and whatever are the things which are left over, those are called as what? Substituents. So this is the box which I have drawn. This is considered to be your parent chain. Okay, and these all are what? Rounded ones all are substituents. Okay, CH3s are what? This is parent chain, and down if I write you cannot able to see. CH3s all are what? Substituents. Okay, substituents or side chains. Okay, so you have to choose the parent chain with more number of carbon atoms. Here now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons are there. Okay, 8 carbons. So root word is what? Oct. If 8 carbons are there, the root word will be oct, and all single bonds are there in the compound. So octane it is. Okay, so root word is oct. Choose the parent chain in that way. Instead of choosing this straight one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only are there. If you choose the straight one, 6 only are there. So root word is oct, longest. Okay, if we go for example 2. Okay, what is that? Suppose if you were given a structure like this, CH2, CH. Okay, one structure is given like this, and down like this, one structure is given to you. Now if you go for the straight one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. If you go for a branched one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or from here if you start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, anything you can take. Okay, so we can take this to be your parent chain. How to choose the parent chain? Means longest carbon chain with the more number of continuous carbons is to be treated as what? Parent chain. So the root word is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 5, 6, 7. Okay, root word is 7. 7 means hept. It is heptane. Okay, with more number of carbon atoms. Then these two, okay, are treated as what? Substituents. Okay, those two are treated as what? Substituents. Okay, so how to choose the parent chain? Means with the more number of carbon atoms, okay, is to be treated as parent chain. Okay, so that is your first thing. Okay, next in this only number 2. Okay, number 2 is what? You have to choose the parent chain in such a way that the parent chain with more number of substituents. Okay, choose the parent chain. Okay, choose the parent chain with, okay, with more number of substituents. That is also important thing. More number of substituents. Okay, if you are taking parent chain in such a way that which is having less number of substituents, no, don't take it. You have to take the parent chain in such a way that which is having more number of side chains. Okay, you can take one example for this. Okay, so let us do this example. Take the structure CH3, CH. I am writing from the textbook only. CH, Okay, so if a compound is given like this, okay, then if you take the straight 1 2 3 4 5 6, parent chain is having 6 carbons. If you take it as a straight chain, okay, suppose if you start from here 1 2 3 4 5 6, then it is also having 6 carbon atoms. So there is a chance for either this one to be your parent chain or the main one. Okay, main one which is to be like, okay, either the straight one also to be the parent chain, which are having same number of carbon atoms. Then which one you have to choose? Choose the one which is having more number of substituents. Okay, suppose if you take this solid line which I have drawn, if you take that as parent chain, then this one will be one substituent, this is one, this is one. The number of substituents are 3. Okay, if you take this one, the main straight one to be the parent chain, 1 2 3 4 substituents. Okay, so the one which is having more number of substituents is to be taken as parent chain. Therefore, the structure has to be what? Has to be considered as straight one to be the parent chain, and the 4 are to be treated as what? Substituents. So, CH3, CH, CH, CH2, CH3. Okay, so take the straight one as parent chain. This will be your parent chain, and okay, these 4 are to be treated as what? Substituents. So 4 substituents is good. Okay, 4 substituents is correct. Choose the parent chain in that way. Here if you take this solid one, for this solid one only 3 substituents are there. Okay, this full is one substituent, sorry. Okay, 1 2 3. Okay, here 3 substituents. 3 substituents. Here 4 substituents. So taking 3 substituents is wrong. Taking 4 substituents is correct. So choose the parent chain in that way. Okay, so this is also one important thing. In rule 1 itself, this is one of the parts. Right? Next, we'll go to rule 2. Okay, so rule 2 is what? Rule 2 is lowest number rule, lowest locant rule. Okay, so you have to give numbering. After choosing parent chain, you have to give numbering. Okay, so give numbering in such a way that the substituents positions should get the lowest possible number. Okay, the position of the substituent is called as locant. Okay, while giving numbering, okay, while giving numbering, choose the parent chain in such a way that, okay, now choose the parent chain. Choose the parent chain in such a way that the substituents should get the lowest possible number. I am writing in short, substituents, subs should get what? Lowest possible number. Okay, they should get lowest possible numbers. Okay, so this is one of the important rules. Okay, so while giving numbering, okay, give numbering from that end where the substituents should get the lowest possible numbers. Okay, we'll take one example for that. Suppose CH3, CH2, CH2. Suppose if you give numbering from front, okay, then the substituents position 1, 2, 3, 4th position. Okay, numbering from front. Okay, numbering from front. Okay, then substituents position. Substituent position is 4. Numbering from back. Suppose if you give numbering from back 1, 2. Then the numbering, then the substituents position is what? second position. If you give numbering from back, substituent position is second position. Okay, so which one you have to choose? You have to choose the one which is having lowest possible number. So give numbering from back. So the methyl substituent will be in second position. Okay, choose the numbering in that way. Right? So this is one of the important rules. Okay, next we'll move on to the third rule. Rule 3. Okay, what is rule 3? Rule 3 is lowest sum rule. Rule 3 is what? Lowest sum rule. Lowest sum rule. Okay, when you give numbering to the substituents, okay, their positions are to be indicated separately. Okay, 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, so you have to, suppose if you are getting from both sides, if you are getting same numbers, okay, then add the locants positions. By adding the locants positions, whichever you are going to get the lowest sum, that way you have to give the numbering. Okay, I am not writing all that things here. We'll just go with the examples. Okay, let us learn with the example. Okay, suppose a compound is given like this, CH3, CH2, CH, suppose here one substituent is there, CH3, here also one substituent is there, CH3, and there also one substituent is there, CH3. Suppose if you are giving numbering in such a way that from front if you start, locants positions are what? Second, third, fourth, fifth, 2, 3, 5. Okay, if you give numbering from front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, numbering from front. If you give numbering from front, okay, then locants positions are what? Locants positions are 2, 3, 5. Okay, 2, 3, 5. By adding that, you will be getting how much? 10. 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 5, 10. If you give numbering from back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, right here you can see numbering from back. Okay, if you give numbering from back, what are the positions of the substituents? Here also 2, 4 and 5. If you give numbering from back, 2, 4 and 5. 2, 4, 5 are the positions of the locants. So if you add them, you will be getting 11. Okay, so lowest sum, whichever you are getting, you should give numbering in that way only. Please understand the points carefully. Lowest sum rule. Okay, so locants positions are 2, 3, 5 is correct. Okay, but not 2, 4, 5. Okay, 2, 4, 5 is giving maximum sum. 2, 3, 5 is giving less sum. So lowest sum rule, you have to follow that one also. Right? So this is one of the important rules. Lowest sum rule. Next we will go for rule 4. Okay. Rule 4. Okay, if similar substituents are present, if similar substituents are present, more than one, okay, present more than one, okay, then you will use the prefixes like di, tri, etc. You will use prefixes like what? Prefixes like di, tri, okay, tetra, like that you will use the prefixes. That means if two methyl groups are there, two similar substituents, if two methyl groups are there as two substituents, okay, you will use the word dimethyl. If three methyl groups are there, you will use the word trimethyl. If 4 are there, tetramethyl, like that you will use the words. Okay, so that is also one very important rule. Dimethyl, trimethyl, that words you will be using. Okay, so for that you can it can be treated as what? Like you can take this example. Here you are finding 3 methyl groups are there. So what will be the name for this compound? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons are there. Same example if you take. Okay, like CH3, CH, CH, CH2, CH, CH3. Okay, you are finding 3 methyl substituents are there. In which positions they are there? If you give numbering from front, numbering from front is correct. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second, third and fifth positions. So 2, 3, 5. Trimethyl hexane is the name of this compound. 6 carbons are there, so root word is hex. And all single carbons are there, all single bonds are there, so ane. So 3 methyl groups are there, so you will be using the word trimethyl. Okay, if 2 similar, more than 1 similar functional groups if they are there, similar methyl groups or ethyl groups, alkyl groups if they are there, you will remember this rule. Okay, so next we will move on to rule number 5. Okay, rule number 5. So what is rule number 5? First point of difference rule. You have to call it as what? First point of difference. First point of difference. First point of difference. The rule of first point of difference. So what does this mean? We'll learn this with an example. Okay, suppose a compound is there like this. You cannot see if I write. Once again. Okay, you have to check with the numbers. So this is the question given to you. Okay, so what is that first point of difference? What is that mean? What does it mean? That you have to understand carefully. Okay, so while giving numbering to this compound, okay, while giving numbering for this compound, suppose if you give numbering from front, okay, if you give numbering from front, then locants positions are what? If you give numbering from front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Locants position. If numbering is from front, okay, numbering is from front, locants positions are what? Locants positions 3, 4 and 9. 3, 4 and 9. Okay, suppose if you give numbering from back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you give numbering from back, okay, then locants positions are what? If you give numbering from back, the positions of locants are 2, 7 and 8. Okay, 2, 7 and 8. Then which one you have to take it as correct. Okay, so here first point you have to check, first numbers you have to check. What is the rule? First point of difference rule. Okay, please understand this point carefully. Okay, if you just check the first numbers, compare the first numbers. Okay, first numbers, which one is the least? From back 2 7 8, it is correct. Okay, so numbering from back is correct than numbering from front. That means first point of difference you have to check. Compare the first numbers. Here 3, here 2. Which number is the lowest one? That you have to consider it as correct way of numbering. Okay, so this you call it as what? First point of difference. Okay, you have to understand it carefully. Okay, and next. So in next you have to learn for the next rule, rule number 5. Different alkyl groups, alphabetical order. Okay, alphabetical order. Rule number 6. Rule number 6, alphabetical order of alkyl groups. Alphabetical order of different alkyl groups. Okay, now alphabetical order of different alkyl groups. So when you are giving numbering, okay, if you are giving numbering in such a way, then after writing the numbering, you have to give naming for the first one which comes under alphabetical order. Like suppose if two things are coming like this, ethyl and methyl, among these two substituents are coming like this. Among these two, ethyl has to be written first because E comes first than M. Okay, ethyl has to be written first. This rule you have to remember among ethyl and methyl. Suppose if there are 2 methyls and 3 methyls are there, suppose diethyl, triethyl, like this, di, tri, all this prefixes are there. Okay, so while considering the alphabetical order, don't consider the D, T which are there in di, tri. Okay, for this no need of considering di, tri alphabetical order, but you have to consider the alphabetical order only for ethyl, methyl, propyl, like that. Okay, so whichever comes first in the alphabetical order, irrespective of its position, okay, write while writing the name, write it in the alphabetical order. Okay, so ethyl has to be written first, okay, then methyl has to be written. We'll see the examples. Okay, suppose this compound is there, CH3, CH2, C, CH3, C2H5. So for this, when you give the numbering, check for the up to now what all the rules which we have applied, that also you have to check. If you give numbering from front, 1 to 3rd position. If you give numbering from back, 1 to 2nd position itself. Okay, 1 2 3 4th position. Okay, so when you are giving numbering, okay, check for the positions also. Okay, check for the positions. So here ethyl substituents are what? This is one this is ethyl substituent, C2H5 is there, and these two are what? Methyl substituents. Okay, methyls. So when you give numbering, okay, so if you give numbering from back, 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, if you give numbering from back, you will get ethyl and methyl. Ethyl is in 4th position, but write it first because ethyl comes under alphabetical order. So 4 ethyl and 2 comma 4 dimethyl. 4 ethyl, 2 comma 4 dimethyl. 2 comma 4 dimethyl. Here root word is hex and all single bonds are there, so hexane. So this is the way you will write the name of the compound, writing ethyl first. So don't consider the di, tri, whatever the d, t which are coming for prefixes like di, tri, don't consider them. Okay. So this is the name of this compound and you have to follow what? Alphabetical order while writing the name of the given compound. Okay. So this is one important rule. Okay. In case if different alkyl substituents are present at equivalent positions. Okay. In this only you will be learning about one more important point. What is it? Suppose if these alkyl substituents are present in equivalent positions. Okay. So you can take this as 7th rule. Alkyl substituents in equivalent positions. Alkyl substituents in equivalent positions. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, from any side if you give numbering, okay, then their positions are found to be same, suppose. Then you call it as what? Equivalent positions. Okay, if the substituents are found to be under equivalent positions, then how you have to give the numbering? Give the lowest number to the one which comes first in alphabetical order. Okay, then what you have to do? If alkyl substituents are in equivalent positions, okay, give numbering. Okay, give numbering in such a way that the one which comes first in alphabetical order should get the lowest possible number. Okay, the one which comes first in alphabetical order. The one which comes first in alphabetical order. Okay, the one which comes first in alphabetical order should be given what? Lowest possible number. Should be given lowest possible number. Okay, so this is one of the important rules. Okay, now please understand the point carefully. Okay, so we'll see one example for this. Suppose CH3 So if you give numbering from front, once you look at the methyl and ethyl substituents, their numberings 1 to 3rd position. Even if you give numbering from back also 1 to 3rd position. But if you give numbering from back, ethyl is getting 3rd position and methyl is getting 4th position. Okay, please understand the point carefully. If you give numbering from front, then also the locants positions are 3 and 4. So 3 is for what? Methyl. Okay, from front. Numbering from front, if you give 3, 4 are the substituents. 3, 4, 3rd is methyl, 4th is ethyl. Okay. But if you give numbering from back, okay, if you give numbering from back, then also 3, 4 only. 3, 4. But from back, 3 is getting ethyl, okay, and 4 is getting methyl. Then which one you have to choose? Their positions are equivalent only. So choose according to the alphabetical order. Give the one which comes first in alphabetical order. For that you should give lowest number. So 3 ethyl is correct. Okay. Instead of giving 3 methyl, lowest number alphabetical order. Both are preferably we will get if you give numbering from back. Okay. So when they are in equivalent positions, check with the alphabetical order. So this is rule 7. Okay. So giving numbering from back is correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 ethyl, 4 methyl hexane is correct. Okay. 3 ethyl, 4 methyl hexane is correct. Instead of giving 3 methyl, 4 ethyl hexane, 3 ethyl, 4 methyl hexane is correct. Okay. So this is rule 7. Okay. Now I am rubbing this rule 6. Okay, and next we will be learning about numbering of complex alkyl substituent, which is considered to be the last rule for this. Okay, while numbering the complex alkyl substituents. Okay, 8th rule, naming of complex alkyl substituents. Naming the complex alkyl substituents. Complex alkyl substituent compounds. Okay, what does this mean? Complex alkyl substituents are those which are having branches in the substituent also. That means the substituent itself, if it is branched, then how to give the numbering? Okay, it means that if the substituent itself is branched, if the substituent itself is branched, okay, itself is branched again, okay, then how to give numbering for this? That you have to understand with the examples. Okay, so let us see this example. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, CH, CH3, CH3, so like this one compound is given. Okay, if you give numbering from front 1, 2, 3, 4th position, here also 1, 2, 3, 4th position only, substituent position. Now this totally it is considered to be what? Substituent only. Okay, totally it is considered to be substituent, and this is your parent chain. Okay, so if you observe the substituent itself is branched again. Actually, if we keep here CH2, CH3, it will become ethyl substituent. But in that ethyl, again the first carbon is replaced, means in that one hydrogen is again replaced by one methyl group. Okay, so this is actually in this is considered to be ethyl. Please understand carefully. This is considered to be ethyl. In that ethyl again methyl is there. So what kind of ethyl it is? Methyl ethyl substituent. Okay, in that methyl is also present. So methyl ethyl substituent it is. Okay, and that methyl group is kept for first carbon. Here you will be giving numberings for the main parent chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again for the substituent also you should give numbering. That is what is the special thing which you have to remember. Okay, if you are giving numbering for the substituents, you will be giving 1 dash, 2 dash like that. Okay, keep dash on the top of that number. Okay, so here now while giving name of this compound, first check for the locand's position. Locand's position is 4. Okay, after writing 4, you open the bracket. Okay, so here for the 4th position, the substituent is what? Ethyl substituent. Okay, so for that ethyl, again in the first 1 dash position, methyl is there. 1 dash methyl ethyl it will become. 1 dash methyl ethyl. Okay, 1 dash methyl ethyl. Now this full is what? Substituent. Okay, that is present for what? 4th carbon. Okay, and the number of carbon atoms are 7. So it is what? Heptane. So the name of this compound is 4,1 dash methyl ethyl heptane. 4,1 dash methyl ethyl heptane is the name of this compound. Okay, so you have to be very careful with this. Okay, we'll learn more 1 or 2 examples for this complex substituents. You have to be very careful while giving name for complex substituents. Let us see second example. Okay, example 2. So here CH3, CH2, CH2. So like this one structure is given to you. Okay, if you just check for the parent chain, you can go for the straight one to be the parent chain, or even this one also we will check. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. If you go for this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 only, or if you go this side 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 only. So straight one only you have to take it as what? Parent chain. Okay, so now this full one is going to become your what? Substituent. Now numbering you have to check 1 2 3 4 fifth position. If you give from back 1 2 3 4 fifth position, anyway it is correct only, anyway it is fifth position only. So you will write the name of this compound in such a way that you will be giving numbering to the main parent chain first. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, now to this fifth position, this is a substituent. So the carbons which are present in the substituent are numbered as what? 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, like that. Okay, now we'll try to write the name of this compound. So first you write the position of the locant 5. Open the bracket. Okay, now this is actually what? Propyl substituent. In the substituent you are finding 3 carbons. So it will be propyl substituent. In that propyl, again for the second carbon, methyl is attached. Okay, so what kind of propyl it will become? It will become methyl propyl. Okay, so that methyl is again present in the second position. So 2 dash methyl propyl, 2 dash methyl propyl. Close the bracket. Okay, that was totally attached to fifth position, so I wrote 5 here. Okay, then what are the number of carbon atoms? Nonane. Okay, 5 2 dash methyl propyl nonane is the name of this compound. Okay, so like this you have to what we call write the names of the complex substituents in this way. Okay, right. And one more example we will see before closing the class. We will see one more example. Yes, better I write this side. I will rub this side and write that one more example. Example 3. So children generally makes mistakes while doing these complex substituents only. So that's why you have to be very careful. Okay, so take down this example. CH3, CH2, CH, C2H5, CH, C, CH3, 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 and here CH2, CH2, CH, CH3, so this is the compound which is given to you. Okay, example 3. So in this, if you take the straight one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 carbons are there. So we'll take the straight one to be the parent chain, or else you can take even like this also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 only you are getting. So you cannot take that. So straight one is your parent chain. Now this one is one of your substituents. This is one substituent, this is one substituent, this is one substituent. But here this is complex substituent. Okay, now this is considered to be what? Complex substituent. Okay, so first we will give numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 carbons. I am giving numbering from front is correct because you are getting smallest numbers, lowest possible numbers if you give numbering from the front only. Now to this substituent, you will be giving again one more numbering. Okay, so here 1 dash and 2 dash. So you have to take continuous carbon chain as parent chain. Even for the substituents also, whatever the carbons whichever are there attached to the main parent chain, and in continuation carbons has to be attached. Okay, so you have to check carefully. So now this is one substituent and this is one substituent and this is one. So first we will give name for this complex substituent. So fourth position. So 4 bracket open. Okay, so here for 1 dash you are finding 2 methyl groups are there. So for 1 dash again 1 dash dimethyl. 1 dash dimethyl you have to write. Okay, and this is mainly what? Ethyl group. So you will close the bracket here, and then third position ethyl, 7th position methyl is there. So 3 ethyl complex. After naming the complex you close the bracket, then you write normal substituents. So 3 ethyl, 7 methyl decane is the name of this compound. Okay, so that will be the procedure in which we will give numbering and naming for what? Complex alkyl substituents. Okay, right. Suppose if 2 similar complex substituents are attached, we will see one more example. Okay, if 2 similar complex substituents are attached, you will use the word bis. Okay, 2 similar complex substituents are attached to the same locant's position. Okay, you will use the word what? Bis. We'll see one example. Example 4. Okay, you just try to give the naming for this compound. CH3 So what you have to write the name of this compound. We'll check for the parent chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. So better you take straight one as the parent chain. Then this is one substituent. This is one substituent. And up this is also one substituent. But if you compare these two complex substituents, okay, these are ethyls only, but methyl ethyls. In the first carbon, for 1 dash carbon, you are finding again methyl group. Okay, so methyl ethyl this is. Even this is also methyl ethyl. Okay, similar substituents are attached to the same carbon. Okay, then you can use the word bis, bis, bis. Okay, so after giving numbering 1, 2, 3, 4th position. 6, 7. Okay, after giving numbering, okay, in 4th position, actually how you will be giving the names? 4 bracket open. Okay, 4 bracket open. 1 dash methyl ethyl. Okay, 4 comma 4. Again 4, 2 times you have to write 4 comma 4 because up also and down also. Okay, 1 dash methyl ethyl. 1 dash methyl ethyl. Okay, 1 dash comma 1 double dash also you have to write. 1 dash 1 double dash also. Okay, so instead of writing like this, we will give the word what? Before opening the bracket, we will give the word bis. So 4 comma 4 bis. 1 dash methyl ethyl. Okay, 1 dash, this is 2 dash. For 1 dash only methyl is there. And totally it is ethyl substituent. Even here also 1 dash, 2 dash. Okay, 1 dash methyl ethyl. So 4 comma 4 bis. 4 comma 4 bis is there. By bis similar substituents. Okay, and then second position methyl. 2 methyl hexane. Okay, 2-methyl hexane. 2-methyl hexane. 4, bis 1- methyl ethyl 2-methyl hexane is the name of this compound. So the word bis can be used if two similar substituents are present. Okay, bis is used for, please write this, bis is the word used for naming similar complex substituents. Okay, now for naming similar complex substituents. Okay, for naming similar complex substituents. Okay, so these are the different rules which you come across for writing the names for given compounds. Okay, so all these rules you have to keep in mind while writing the name of a given compound. Okay, so thanks for watching, dear children. The video is little bit lengthy, I can understand, but still we have to follow all these examples. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.